A couple of weeks earlier, that is on November 8th, when the whole world was waiting for the outcome of US presidential elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi came out with his master stroke on the corruption, counterfeit currency, terrorism and black money by announcing demonetization or surgical strike for the seizing 500 and 1000 rupees notes. So, did this striking move make any difference on the economy? Well, let's find out. But before we do, my name is Jonathan, this is Technology King and let's get started. Before taking a look on the impact, let's first find out how and who manages the money. So, the Reserve Bank of India manages currency in India and derives its role in currency management on the basis of Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 and the new redesigned series of 500 banknote in addition to a new denomination of 2000 rupee banknote is in circulation since November 10th of 2016. The new redesigned series is also expected to be introduced the banknote denominations of 1000, 100 and 50 in the coming months. By the way, the term demonetization or surgical strike is not new to the Indian economy, as the highest denomination note ever printed by the Reserve Bank of India was 10,000 rupees note, that is on 1938 and again in 1954, but these notes were demonetized in January 1946 and again in January 1978 according to Reserve Bank of India data. So by this we can easily conclude that Reserve Bank of India manages the currency in India. So let's now take a look at the pros and cons of the demonetization or surgical strike on the 500 rupees and 1000 rupee notes. One of the biggest benefits of this move is that it is going to drastically affect the corrupt practices. People who are holding black money in cash will not be able to exchange money, as they would be in a fear of getting penalized or prosecuted by the authorities. Enemies of the countries which are involved in counterfeit or fake currencies and terrorism will not be able to continue it further for quite some time. Furthermore, banking system will get a boost as more than 7 to 8 lakh crore base money will enter the system. However, it needs to be seen how much money actually remains in the system once the cash withdrawal limits are eased. And most importantly, in the long run, tax and interest rates on loans are expected to come down as higher income tax collections arising from the better compliances would offer scope to reduce rates over the long term. This in return will drive up disposable income. This can give a positive impact on the consumption demand in the long term. But all these benefits are something that we are going to experience in the very near future. What about the problems that we are facing today? Do we need to face them? And what are they actually? Let's see. The liquidity insolvency caused by the demonetization will be negative across sectors with high level of cash transactions such as real estate, jewelry retailing, restaurants, logistics, consumer durables and luxury brands as well. It will even be facing some impact on segments like retail or SME. Those companies with high level of debt will face more pressures than that of smaller sectors. And also, there will be added replacement costs of the currency. We cannot ignore the increased cost of operating ATMs that need to be filled more often than not and huge burdens on banks. Initially, it is very difficult to create cashless society as more than 50% of Indian population is not well versed with card transactions. Also, for these initial months, it will be very difficult to make cash transaction for higher amount. But the government is taking steps to improve liquidity on the system and to reduce inconvenience as much as possible. Finally, India is certainly going to experience a din in PM Modi's regime. The decision of this surgical strike on black money was not taken in a day or two. Similarly, where we cannot experience digital India in a day or two. And this plan is the result of Prime Minister's meticulous planning and a never-ending fight against corruption. As a result, has successfully made the right stroke at the right time. And finally, the penal provisions are hefty enough to ensure that corrupt practices will find it hard to take roots again. Despite certain short-term troubles, demonetization is certainly going to give a boost to the Indian economy in the long run. As of now, all of us should stand and support this bold move of our Prime Minister and help those in need around us. So now that we know the cons and the pros of the demonetization or surgical strike on the 500 and 1000 rupee notes, which are approx 85% of the total economy. So what should we do? So for now, we should stand with the bold move that PM Modi has taken, and we should support it for further. And that pretty much winds up the video. Hopefully enjoy the content. If you did and feeling like the one who's privileged to have an awesome supporting audience like you feeling, make sure to crack that like button. But if you thought this video sucked, give me a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments down below what you didn't like, so that I can keep up and come with a good one for the next time. But if you thought this video was good and you really appreciate it, go ahead and get subscribed. Until then, this has been your host Jonathan from Technology King, reminding you to check out my previous video, for which the links can be found below. Until then, thanks for watching.